Hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day out there today. It is January the 1st. Happy New Year, everybody. So, let me tell you what's happening today because you may or you may not know, but it is the official launch of the Inner Circle Collective. You may have been seeing all the things, the pages. You need to go ahead and search us on Facebook. Now, listen, don't be trying to come into the Inner Circle community, the private group, if you know you ain't registered yet for the Inner Circle community. That's going to be the private group for the members who are actually registered. But the page you can follow for this great content on the main page for however long you want and as soon as you want. I think we already have like 100 and something people that have followed the page. Thank you guys so much for responding so quickly. But we are here. We are in the building. Hopefully too, we want you to share this video. Go to my business page, Denise Merriweather. Share this video out to your family and friends. I'm on my profile as well. I'm on my YouTube as well. Of course, you know, it takes some time for us to be able to broadcast all the different places. But look, don't worry about it. It's not going to affect your content and the things that we're promising to deliver to you. So what we're going to do today, I want to give you an opportunity to meet the coaches that will be inside the Inner Circle Collective. First, let me tell you what the Inner Circle Collective is. It is a sacred space to explore, reflect, develop, and grow. It is a secure space to explore, reflect, develop, and grow. You don't need to fix yourself because you're not broken. There's nothing wrong and there's nothing to fix. You don't have to chase more. You don't have to carry more. Like everything that you have is what you need to get started on this journey. We're not going to push you to hustle. We're not going to push you to rush. You're going to be able to go at your own pace and to do things your own way. We will deliver amazing growth opportunities for you, opportunities for you to grow in your career, in your finances, your health, your relationships, and most importantly, your spirituality. So I have partnered up with some amazing, amazing women to get this journey started, for you to be on a journey with. I want to give them an opportunity today to speak about who they are, like how did they get started on their journey, their expertise. You know, what is it that they're going to be offering to you within the journey inside of the Inner Circle Collective during this journey? When are they, what is the promise? Like, what will be the results from the first 8 weeks to the first 12 weeks? What are they going to help you with to have you or assist you with a strong start to your 2026? So without further ado, I'm going to give each of these amazing women an opportunity to introduce themselves. And then we're going to start having like a powerful conversation and give you a taste of what this experience will be like from where we offer our viewpoints, how we think, how we're going to be personally moving and challenging ourselves in 2026, and how you can be a part of this journey with us. Because again, we're not going to be not walking, we're going to be walking alongside you. So it's not going to be a situation or an environment where we're 15 steps ahead and you're behind us. Nope, we're walking alongside you with everything that we're doing to help you grow this season. So I don't know which one of you ladies want to go first. We could go in alphabetical order by first name. So Gwen, you would be up next. I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and just tell them what it is that you do. And then from there, I'll ask the questions and get this conversation started so people can get to know a little bit more about us. So Gwen, if you don't mind, introduce yourself.
I'm sure coming off mute helps. But hey, everybody, I'm Gwendolyn Althea, the Well-Rested Yogi, and I specialize in creating restorative spaces for people who are struggling around the concept of rest. I got into this because I had been doing yoga off and on for like 20 years, and I was looking for a space that complemented me, whether that was by gender, by race, or whatever. And I found the studio that became my home, and I've spent the last 3 years in hundreds of hours of training in several different types of yoga, meditation, energy and sound healing, and just a number of different restorative practices. And so I'm on a mission to help our community embrace rest, to understand what it is and why it's so important, and how vital it is to your success in any area. I always say, like, if you don't rest, the rest don't work. Um, it is just so important. So that is my mission. While I do practice and teach yoga, keep saying I really am passionate around meditation and sound as well. And I think that is one of my stronger suits, in addition to the restorative yoga practices that I offer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, LaShawn.
Good afternoon and happy new year, everyone. I'm LaShawn Michael Esquire, founder and CEO of Cycles of Life Estate Planning Company, where we're moving people from financial insecurity to financial freedom while building a financial legacy that lasts a lifetime. And you say, LaShawn, how do we do that? Well, we're going to ace that thing, and what that means, we're going to assess, we're going to consult, and then we're going to execute all our estate planning and financial goals. Of course, the impetus for me starting this business, of course, was the death of my mother, and I should say our mother, because my sister, one of the coaches, is also my sibling, and so losing our mother was the impetus. But I've been practicing law for 25 years, and it's just so interesting how God has a direction for your life and a path. 25 years ago, at my first legal job, I was doing a program called Wheels on Wheels. Say that twice. And it was a program for mobile. At that time, it wasn't remotely mobile, going to elderly clients' homes that were vulnerable, also that were not able to pay for a will on their own, to get them to estate plan to make sure that they had their needs and wants and desires for their end of life in place. And I did that. Of course, I was a part of that job for a year. I was under a fellowship. And then fast forward, what you all will learn in the community is that my family has had a long-standing land dispute issue. And going back with my great aunt, who my parents cared for 7 years up until her death at 101 years old. And then my mother died, and our mother died in 2019, and she did not have any documents. However, she well prepared us in communication in regards to estate planning. So that was the impetus for me starting the business, because I did not want people, and I have family, so many family members and so many friends that were not prepared for death. And what we know is death is a certainty. And so it's morbid to talk about. No one wants to talk about it. However, the goal is to let you all know that estate planning is easy, and we're going to get through it together. What we're going to be learning, and what I'll be teaching as one of the financial coaches, is debt management for the month of January 2026. And the reason I'm starting this, because of course I know this morning you all had a bunch of New Year's resolutions. One of mine was when I opened an email this morning in regards to my credit score and my debt that I had collected over the last 2 months, is that we're going to get the finances back on track. And so what I am promising for this month, January, in the Inner Circle Collective, is to make sure that you all have the tools that you need to not only get started with dealing with your debt, but combating it and overcoming it. It is an obstacle for so many people. And unfortunately, if you do not get this part together, what winds up happening is that you have a fear about estate planning and anything else. So I wanted to talk about this first, because this is something that every year is a popular situation for most people. However, the promise is that we're gonna achieve this together. And one of the main things we're gonna do is we're gonna have a shopping freeze. We're gonna have a shopping freeze, because I'm gonna join y'all, because I just shop too much, and we're gonna learn in regards to what is really a need versus what is a want.
All right. Well, thank you.
To get to this year.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, and letting us know who you are and what it is that you do. I'm going to check in here with Christy. Christy, is your audio up? Is it ready to go? Can we hear you? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're still on mute, so I need to know if it's working or not.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hear you. You want to take this?
Yes.
You want to take an opportunity to introduce yourself?
Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, ladies. I was having some technical difficulty, but I think I'm back now. I just want to
There you go.
say it's a blessing to be here for the Inner Circle Collective. I am Christy Davis, the AI Freedom Architect, and I help business owners overcome fear of technology. Plain and simple. Overcome fear of
Wait,
technology, install systems in their business that helps them save time and make more money. So I'm going to be helping business owners get their systems in order and organize their business so that they can scale and make more money. And I'm happy to be here.
thank you so much for that, and I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes. We all have been working together for almost a year. I would say about 8 months, just building ourselves and coming up with strategies, building things in our business programs, and things for you that we believe that will help you in the year of 2026. So, and getting to know each other, making sure that this is a partnership that we believe that will work. We're committed to being together all of 2026. So it is my hope that you will continue to see us. Of course, life will happen, and there'll be some things where we have to step away, whether it's health related or some amazing opportunities. But we'll still be giving you content in the areas of life that we promised, along with these coaches. So whatever it is that we need to do to deliver on our word, that is what we will do. So my name is Deneen Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneurs Jumpstart Program. It is the #1 training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, build a highly profitable business by building their courage, confidence, and competence so they can accept, believe, and commit to what it is that God has called them to do. So for me, what made me start this business, because I want you to kind of get an idea on why people did what they did. LaShawn already shared why she did what she did. And Christy said, she want to make sure that people don't have fear when they're entering into this technology space. And I'm not sure if Gwen got into a whole lot of details, but I definitely want you to know our background stories on what made us walk this expertise or this road, and to gain an expertise in this area, and then offering it to other people who may be on the same path or want to be on the same path. So back in 2013, God told me that speaking and teaching is what I should be doing. And I fought him for a long time. I didn't believe that I was someone that would be able to do that. I wasn't trained in doing that. I have a degree in telecommunications with a concentration in radio production because I wanted to sing. And for as long as, I don't know, for people that have known me, definitely at least two of the individuals on this call know that this was something that I was after. And I was working towards it. And of course, like great parents do, they like, well, look, honey, if you can't turn this into a career or job before graduation, I'm gonna need you to figure out something else. Now, we ain't gonna tell you what to major in, but it ain't gonna be majoring and staying here at 70 Summit Avenue, apartment 5 in Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm just saying, because my father taught me a long time ago, you got to pay to stay. You can put that in the chat. You got to pay to stay. And I heard recently from someone else, they said to me, which I thought this was a great saying. I'm starting to use it with my children. You got to pay to have a say. No pay, no say. You pay, you say. I love it. I think it's amazing. It's powerful. It's a good principle. It's a great place to stand. So having this whole, dream of being a singer, it led me into getting a degree in telecommunications, which I worked in radio for a really long time. I have definitely an expertise in planning major events for radio stations and beyond. I still do project management now. I don't advertise it, but hey, if you want to hear my prices on, you want to book me, I'm open to that. I'm open to all green opportunities. All right. Look, you saw Gwen, she put her hand up. Yeah, I'm open to all green opportunities in 2026. I'm walking into the words booked, busy, and healthy. Those are my words for the year. And we'll probably share that as well, so you can kind of get to know where we are, what we're working on, and all those things. But that says it all, right? I want to be booked, I want to be busy, and I want to be healthy. So those are the main things that I will be focusing on 2026. And within the Inner Circle Collective, I'll be doing this journey in front of you. Like, I'm going to be showing you meal prepping that I'm doing. Now, again, that ain't my area of expertise. Health is in here. It ain't my area of expertise. This is my growth area. And I'll share my growth area. And maybe that's how we'll communicate, right? What's your growth area this year? And if you are here inside the chat, what is your growth area this year? Do you want to grow in your career, in your finances, your health, your relationships, spirituality? What area of life do you want to grow? Because those are the areas we're focusing on. And here's the thing, as a coach, I am also a certified coach. So an integrative wellness and life coach. I totally get there's 4 like major systems that we operate in as human beings. And if there's one growth area in your mind that needs to happen, like once you determine whatever that thing is more than likely in every other area of your life as well. You just haven't noticed it. You haven't discovered it yet. But this whole community is going to be about discovery too. Remember, you're going to explore. It's going to be a sacred space for you to explore. You may not know what it is that's holding you back. You may not know what has your foot nailed to the floor when it comes to your health, your career, your money, your spirituality, but your relationships. Why you ain't got no relationships in your life? Why they're not healthy in your life? What is it about your conversation, your communications, your I don't want to say your mental fortitude, but it's something that's happening over there with you, because it's never the other person. Put in the chat, it's never the other person. You got to get that whatever it is that's happening in your life, it ain't nobody else. It's all you. Take responsibility and ownership of whatever it is that you have in your life. Whatever is there, you've earned it, good, bad, or indifferent. And don't feel no kind of way about it. Just acknowledge and take responsibility that you earned it. You created it. It's yours. And it's okay. And giving you this sacred space will give you an opportunity for you to admit that to yourself and to go to work on it if you want to, right? Because we ain't pushing and we ain't pulling still nobody over the finish line. There's got to be a desire that she said, it's me. Yeah, that I know. You know, it's the same thing for me, Tanisha. Like, I mean, I got struggles too. I got things that I got to grow into. So that's what's so special about the Inner Circle Collective, is that we're going to be walking alongside you, right? I'm going to be under Gwen when it comes to getting assistance with my health, my rest, learning how to take a pause and slow down, right? That's not in my nature. It's not in my nature. But she'll be in the community. She'll be teaching things that we can do and build a practice mindset on how we can take better care of ourselves. I'm also like participating in like a wellness 12-week program. Of course, you know the things that I learned. Now, let me tell you, y'all don't even understand this about me, but you will soon. Whatever it is that I learned out there, I bring back to my family. Put it in the chat. I will not grow alone in 2026. I will not grow alone in 2026. So back to, hearing God tell me teaching and speaking is what I should do. It naturally led me into creating my own business. I was fired in 2018, and it got me to answer the call that God had on my life. Now, it's more to that story for sure, but I want to give the other ladies an opportunity to share a little bit about them. But when the rug is pulled from underneath you, there's a different level of activity that you take. The reason why I share my story and I specialize in helping people build careers that they want and answering the call of God is because you don't want to be forced to do something that you can walk into by faith. Because by faith or by force, his will be done. The rug got snatched from underneath me because he allowed it. Do you get that? Like, he allowed it. He could have not allowed it, but he allowed it. Well, what would make a father allow for that type of lesson, that teaching? Okay. It ain't him. So if it ain't him, then who is it? It's me. And I can admit that to you. I can admit that I took too long to answer the call of God, so the rug got snatched. Now, it still was up to me to decide to choose to build and a path for myself. It's a white canvas. You get to do the same thing. All I'm saying is that I don't want you to wait for the rug to be snatched in order for you to make the move. If you see that there's an area of life that needs focus on it so you can have more control of the learning and the pace. I heard this today, last thing, and I promise I'm going to somebody else. We can actually determine the pace of how we receive the promises of God. Y'all just think about that. Think I'm lying? I'm not. Because that's what happened to the children of Israel. The journey was an 11-day journey. And I just said this on a previous live. Because once I heard it this morning, I was just like, that's so true. Because we sometimes sit in situations waiting for confirmation, saying we're waiting on God. No, see, you got the call. He gave the instruction. The only person that's slowing down this process of you getting to the promised land is you. With your mindset, with the actions that you're taking or not taking, the things you're committing to or not committing to, the promises that you're keeping to yourself, the word that you're honoring and not honoring. You're slowing down getting to the promise because you won't take the actions that you need to take. And the question on the table is it because you are afraid of it not working out? See, you got to be honest about all of that. And those are the type of conversations that we'll have inside of the Inner Circle Collective. So anyone can jump in here. We introduce ourselves in kind of name order, but definitely just come off mute. Tell us why you actually decided to go into the profession. What was the thing? And here's the thing too. Normally it's always some type of circumstance, situation. Either something profound happens inside us or something profound happens outside of us, right? Either we got control of the change or something outside of us forced the change, right? So definitely somebody just come off mute. It's a conversation.
Well, I can go.
Yeah.
I can go. I don't mind going.
Yes. Go.
For me personally, the reason why I wanted to help people with their business and with overcoming being overwhelmed with technology is because I myself experienced burnout because I was not balancing my life properly. I had way too many things going on. I was doing way too many things for too many different people. And I was trying to do too many things manually and doing too many things that was not in my lane to even do. So it wasn't until I actually burned out, nearly had a breakdown, and even was missing from church for a few years, that it just came to me, or the Lord showed me that there's a better way. And if I could save anybody from that pain, from that struggle, then that's what I want to do. I want to help them to be able to avoid that. Because you don't have to suffer. When you have a business, you can enjoy your business and your family and your me time and travel and all those things. It does not have to be, I'm sitting at my desk from 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. or whatever. It doesn't have to be stressful like that. And with artificial intelligence, the game has changed. And I just want to share that with everybody.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Christy, for sharing that and sharing your why on why you're so passionate about making sure that we're jumping on the AI. It's not going away. It's here. It's been here. Some of us have adopted some of the tools, right? I think I had a Chat GPT account for a couple of years. Now I did not get the paid version until a couple of days ago, but which I missed out on some of the earlier iterations of it that had some other tools, but it's okay that I was a late adopter there. I was an early adopter with some other things, right? Like StreamYard and Canva and all these other things that have progressed so much that's allowing you to do so much more than it did when it first started. So don't stay on the outskirts, jump in. Even if it's a free tool, you don't have to pay for it to learn. Jump in, get your feet wet. Don't be afraid of it because it's not going anywhere. And you don't want to allow yourself to not have control of being able to be a resource for others when you're ready, when you are ready to. Don't allow this world to surpass you or pass by you and you become outdated or stuck somewhere. Because I promise you, it's only two things that's happening. Either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. I promise you're not stuck. I don't even allow people to say that to me. You're not stuck. Because ain't this world moving every day? Ain't the world constantly rotating? You can stand still as long as you want. I bet you still age. Okay? So get out of the mentality of being stuck. You ain't stuck, baby. You either going forward or you're going backwards. All right. Thank you, though, for that, Christy. Who's next?
Okay, that's me.
Okay.
So I'll start at the very way back beginning. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I started having a recurring vision of me standing backstage, looking at myself on a stage, talking to women. And it's just a recurring vision for the last 40, however many years, which led to me majoring in speech in college. And of course, I've always been writing since I was a child. But in the last, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, that job ended, and the job after that ended, but it took me into the city school system. But what I knew in those moments, and what I know from, I've only lost a job 3 times. And every time I got fired because I didn't listen when I heard, go, you ain't supposed to be here no more.
That part.
Hanging out because I was a single mom. I had this kid. And I'm like, well, you want me to quit a job to do what? And I got to feed a kid. So 3 times over the course of the last maybe 24 years. Yeah, I was about this age when I was at the NAACP. But those last 2 experiences were very challenging. And I realized I needed something to help guide me through those moments to get to the other side. And so that was more when I more seriously started looking for a yoga studio or somewhere that I could practice or get what I needed. But I was intent on wanting to work with Black people. And so it took probably a year or 2. And one day I'm scrolling Instagram and there's this reel of these beautiful Black people all dressed in white, graduating from, I guess, a yoga training. And so it started from there. I purchased this self-paced meditation training. Okay. And then I realized real quickly, that ain't for me. That is not for me. I need people, instruction, or else I'm never going to finish it. I was like, this ain't never getting done. Put that down. And then I saw a similar reel and I recognized one of the students because I knew her from Black Girls Run. And from then, off to the races. And so I've been with Sankofa Yoga Studio for the last 3 years. All of the trainings that I have done and completed successfully were done there. I still to this day ain't completed that other meditation training. But I started to see the real value. And it really started for me with other moms. I have so many friends. When I had my son, most of my friends didn't already have kids. And so I realized really early the way that I was seeing motherhood didn't really work for me because it's so sacrificial. And we all make sacrifices, but it was like 100% sacrifice. I tell a lot of my mom clients like to really pay attention to the marketing around Mother's Day. All of the messaging is, my mom did everything for me. She was always there. Turn to her. She gave me everything. And they're not even thanking her just for being mom. It's just for all the sacrifice and everything she gave up. And all the time she was there. You get to Father's Day, it's like fathers don't exist. They ain't do nothing, which they probably did. But they know the money is where the motherhood is. And so I realized that was not ever going to work for Gwendolyn. And so I had to figure out, how I get this young man raised, because I firmly believe when you're raising children, you're also raising someone's potential parent, a potential spouse, a potential coworker, a potential whatever. So I realized I had to maintain my life as well as balance those 2 things. And you never know when you're in the middle of an experiment that you're doing completely by yourself because none of your other friends are parenting in this way. whether it works or not. But I felt pleased. I interviewed him on his, I believe, 15th birthday, and he volunteered the information that being able to watch me still do what I did. And, I did a number of things, from photography to selling products, making products, all different types of things. It gave him the voice and the opportunity to also pursue his things. And so that's what I want for other people, to be able to go after your dreams, achieve what you want to do it, how you want to do it, and not collapse under the pressure, not collapse under the burnout, not be out of alignment with where you're supposed to be, and to still, be able to achieve those goals without suffering and just that ultimate martyrdom. I just got to give it all. And if I give it all, they'll tell me I'm a bad mother.
Right.
You don't have to really deal with that. And not just beyond motherhood, even in your workspace. You can be an excellent employee and go home on time.
Come on.
You don't want to give all of your energy to other people's endeavors. So
There you go.
that is how I got here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's an awesome thing. Awesome principles. They give you a lot of things to think about and things to live into. And again, these are the type of things that we'll be working on and practicing inside of the Inner Circle Collective. So I know that Sean kind of gave some of that background already during her introduction. So tell me this, for those of you who have not answered this question, why is now a good time for you to form a partnership and be a coach inside of the Inner Circle Collective? Like, why now? What is urging you or calling you to do this type of work now? And it's whoever they can come off. And say that.
I firmly believe that community is just right next to rest. Community is our number one success strategy. You can go it alone, and you might be able to find success alone, but I don't think we ever fully realize the levels that we can reach just by yourself, right? Even when you see birds, how do they move in a
Okay.
flight?
That's
When
right.
you see lions and things in their natural habitat, how do they move? In
Packs.
packs.
That's
You
right.
need, I call them your spotter. You need your spotter. Like, because when I'm looking this way, I need somebody looking from up here. The left, the front and the back. You need that. And it's also a mirror, right? So if I'm kind of off course, there's somebody to step in front of me and be like, hey, you might not be seeing this, but this is what I'm seeing. Maybe this is something else that you can do. And it may be in the form of correction, or just something that you didn't even realize you were doing wonderfully well, and somebody else sees it and brings it to your attention. So I'm very big on collective spaces and leaning into community, particularly in the times like now. Matter of fact, I was on a workshop this morning, and Lamar Tyler, who does traffic sales and profit, they've been in this business for years, Black Enterprise List for years. And he was interviewing Kathy Hughes, and she referenced the Montgomery bus boycott and how in our community, one of our most powerful resources is our money, and how that was supposed to be a one-day boycott, but it went for over a year. And then she shared that, the bus was only 10 cents. And she said, we changed the whole system over 10 cents. But how they did it was community. Okay, I got a car. Instead of you walking, I can take the three of you to work. This person says, I'll pick you up, because without that, it probably would have collapsed a lot sooner if they had not joined the community in that way, helping for each other, setting up rides, setting up the carpools, all of those different things so that they could last and get to that goal. It would not have been possible without community.
That's so awesome. And I think it's awesome that you point that out. One of the things I say a lot, and I'll say it in this community, you'll also see it in the communication, is that a community that grows together stay together. If you don't grow with the people that you say that you love, at some point you're gonna lose them. They leaving or you leaving, but somebody will be leaving. And you know, again, I mean, I hate to be the person to say it, but it's just true. You know, your mindset would be different. The things that you enjoy would be different, and it's only a matter of time that you'll grow apart. That's what happens in a lot of romantic relationships, right? Kids come along, you got different focuses, you're not making time to go on the dates, to grow with each other, to build each other, and you're still evolving. But because the communication is not happening, you're not making an intentional effort to stay together, to grow together. You're growing, but not hand in hand. And again, that's just one of the things to keep in mind that we're passionate about here in the Inner Circle Collective, that we're going to walk alongside you. And we ain't trying to run fast and all that stuff. Like, you'll kind of dictate the pace on your response and what it is that you need, right? For those of you who decide to join us on this journey and register to be with us, you will actually be founding members, right? And you'll be able to give us the feedback that we need. So for every month and iteration, as we continue to have the doors open and people come, things will change and alter because of your feedback and what it is that you're telling us that you need and that you want. Now, there's some general things just because of the market and how long we've been in the market and our expertise, specialties. We know some things already that you want, right? And that's why we're here having a conversation with you and going to provide those things. But there are going to be some things we don't know that you need because we don't know your timeline. We don't know where you are right now in this journey. All we know is that we're able to assist you from definitely where we know that the market needs, but you may have specific needs and make a request, and we give you that particular thing that you're asking for. I know that there's a lot of programs too, even this particular program that started this training, that there was a couple of my clients that actually wanted me to do an executive coaching program. Like, you need to do that so you can train, so we can, I mean, you told us that this was something that you wanted to do. We want to be a part of it. When you want to do it. And for those of you who have been in the community, my husband got really ill the year that I was going to do it, and I wasn't able to do it. I had to, focus on my husband and my family. So I had to back up from actually adding anything else on my plate so I can actually show up for my family. But then as soon as my clients came back to me and was like, okay, we still waiting. We didn't go nowhere. We gave you space and room for life because we got that it was a serious situation happening. But now that you finished with that situation, or things are better, we're going to need you to give us what you promised, right? So I just want to say that you have power being the founding members of this community. It will be at a cost of $39 a month, so it's not going to be super expensive or strenuous on your finances. It's just going to require you giving time and doing the work, right, of whatever it is that you're saying that you need and you want to walk towards in 2026. Okay, so who's next? Tell me why this journey now? Why you? Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm back. I'm sorry. The sun was blinding. So pardon my stepping away for a moment. But for me, I'm always reminded, and my pastor said to the congregation years ago, this thing called ship. He actually has a sermon called Ships. And in every area of your life, relationships are required. It's not an option. You don't go to a job. You have a business relationship with someone. You're not at a job by yourself. Even if you start your own business, there's some people you're going to need to help you with that business. I'm very clear. I am not a tech person. So I am highly reliant on Christy Davis to help me and Denise Merriweather. I can barely figure out buttons on the computer sometimes. And so iron sharpens iron, and you're not built. We were not designed by God to do this thing called life alone.
Right.
That's why God created Eve for Adam. And
Right.
This is Bible. This is word. And so for me, iron sharpens iron. And I tell people, and you're going to talk about this, the 5-5-5. If you could tell me 4 people in your friend group, and usually y'all are doing the same things, or you are aligned in some kind of way. because just like you said, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to do the things that you are with the people that you're aligned with, or you're going to leave. If all your friends party and you no longer party, guess what's going to happen? You leave in their party.
That's right.
If all your friends is about, and I think about Gwen is my childhood friend and my line sister, and we went all the way through elementary, all the way through college together. The reason why we all are friends, and we talk in a group chat all the time, and Denise, my sister, was also part of this friend group, is because we were all into the same things. We were all into getting education. We was all into music and singing and those kind of things, the creative outlets, but we all were aligned and we all made each other better. You know, I think about the time Gwen and I and Tisha, our girlfriend Tisha, used to study together.
Oh,
And
wow.
Tisha was getting a different grade than me and Gwen. Well, if y'all can imagine, and you'll find that I'm very talkative. So imagine the three of us together. Gwen ain't that talkative, but she's talkative in the group. You know, her personality will grow in the group with us, like with a group of people. And we would spend 2-3 hours talking about nothing about the subject we were studying.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it sounded like that was a problem. I was like, what?
Correct.
You teaching and
Yeah,
putting together
so-
studying? No.
Of course, Denise was my mama. So mama would pick us up and she said, well, what did y'all study enough for the group? Now, me and Gwen were going home and doing what? Studying by ourselves, which is probably what should have occurred anyway. We just kind of came together as a group to do maybe some recaps.
To talk.
Yes. Well, Tisha was going to bed. Tisha, don't be mad at me if you watching this and I'm telling this story. So when we got our groups, we're in the same class together. And
Sorry,
and
Tisha.
Gwen is getting
They
this
should have told you.
And then Tisha finally, because we kept doing these fake study groups when it was really social hours. And finally Tisha said, well, I don't understand, because she was mad. Now how you
It should be.
and I ain't getting the grades. I said, girl, what? I go home and study. My mom already know. She know this mouth. She know I ain't done no studying. And I'm at the house up until 12 o'clock now studying what I should have been doing the first 3 hours. And then I'm just going to bed late, but I'm going to get an A. And so it just goes to show you, again, when you are a group together. Now, I guarantee you, Tisha started studying by herself. We still were meeting and playing. And then we all was getting the same grades because we were in a group. And none of us was going to let the other person fall behind.
Mhm.
You know, if Gwen needed something, we were going to do something to get her, vice versa. Nobody was going to fail in the group. And so that's the impetus for me. And
why in here?
And reach more people.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
we all individually had our businesses for a number of years. Mine is now 6. And I love helping people. And if Gwen got some people that's interested in estate planning, and I got some people, including myself, is interested in wellness,
Right.
then what are we going to do? We're going to connect with the people, because what helps a business? Word of mouth. So if I can verify, because Denise has been my life coach since we were 3, well, let me move it up, 5 and 3, to be fair. And so, and guess who was 5?
Yeah.
That's another show. Guess who was 5? And so then she became my professional coach that I was actually paying her. And so it just, again, I could tell people, yeah, her practices work. When she told me to get on the calendar, I got on the calendar. And now I'm always on time because I know what I'm doing every day. And that don't mean that I don't struggle with my calendar, but I had never used my phone calendar until I took her calendaring class. I think it's something about design, but she'll tell you all about that later. But whatever the case,
Freedom by design.
freedom by design. I should have known that. I apologize.
That's okay.
I say all that to say, so that's why I joined the community, because we can grow together. And
And
not only grow together with the coaches, but grow together with the people. Because another thing I'm learning, and then I'm shutting up, is that when I go to Bible studies, and my church do individual Bible studies, meaning we do small groups. We have a corporate Bible study, then we do small groups. The reason people start to grow, the first couple of weeks, nobody's saying nothing. We're doing a lesson. Maybe we read a book about faith, whatever. And then somebody shares. Then I'm sitting there, I was like, girl, I thought I was the only one going through this. Child, I had been wrestling with God about this. And here come to find out you were suffering with the same thing or going through the same thing. So when you share, because my coach tells me it's to share it where it happens. When we share, you realize you're not in this alone. And I go back again to relationships. When you know that you're not going through grief by yourself, when you're not going through trying to find a date out here in this crazy world by yourself, it helps you get comfort, and you don't think God is picking on you. Why he keep driving by my address? Everybody else in relationship, why I can't be in a relationship? But then it goes back to there got to be some inner man work. And of course, because you are attracting what you are. So these are things, but when you have somebody else in the group that's going through the same thing, you're like, girl, well, what did you do to get over this? So it's the connection, the building of a relationship, which helps you build and expand your business. So for me, it was more reach, to reach more people and to help more people with estate planning, but it was also to grow and get better, not at only estate planning, but in the 5 pillars of my life, because if I'm doing good in one area, it's going to percolate over to the others. So
That's good.
that's
Good.
what for me.
Good deal. Anyone else want to hop in here? Like, what made you say yes now? Like, why was it determined for you to connect with some other women doing things and say, yes, I would love to start a membership, a community, a group where we're helping people grow in areas of life that's important to them? No takers. And that's fine.
I've come to, in the last, maybe over the last year, come to adopt the why not now.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes that's just enough. Like it's just the time. You can keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it some more and thinking about it and thinking about it. But, you know, as I think we're all familiar with, we're thinking I'm going to do it when I feel more of this, or I got more of this, or I'm more confident, or it's this. But all of those things are built. They're practices.
Correct.
It's not the wish that comes down from Tinkerbell when she flies on by while you're sleeping. That's not how it works. So you have to jump in some kind of way, even if it's a small way. It might not look pretty.
That's right.
It might be a typo or two. It might be, you know, and I started noticing more errors in other people's things, and they keep going because someone pointed that out. They were like, you see people, entrepreneurs growing like wildfire. They are not worried about that ding dang comma. They missed the comma and they moving on to the next thing. Like, okay, we missed the comma. We'll get you next time. And they just keep going. Whereas if you sit so long in your own spiral in your brain, you ain't never going to get there because you're never going to take the step. You're just waiting for until. We're always waiting for the until. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it until I have the right amount of money. I'm not going to do it until I feel like I have a support system. I'm not going to do it until I feel confident. I'm not going to do it until I think I've perfected this skill. Until we'll take you out.
Come on. Until we'll take you out. And I think that's just a powerful statement. Don't allow until to take you out. So we're approaching, end time soon. So I want to give everyone an opportunity to hear what is it that you will be teaching in the beginning or the first quarter of I would just say quarter of the time, the first 3 months of the year. And what is the promised result that they will get by one, being a part, deciding to be a part of the Inner Circle Collective, and making sure that they're staying tapped into the content, the classes, or whatever it is, the teachings that you will be offering inside of the community. Once you answer that question, then I'm going to give you all an idea on what to expect inside of the community and give you like a head start so you know what steps to take once the link is sent to you. First, if I dropped inside the chat to the waitlist link, I need you to go ahead and send that, because when the link drops on tomorrow for you to register and become a founding member, I want to make sure that you get the correspondence. All right. So to the coaches, to the experts, what is it that you will be teaching the first quarter of the year or however long? And what's the promise? What's the result?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I am going to be focusing on the art of rest. Rest is a practice for so many of us. It doesn't necessarily come natural. We've been trained to labor and go and go and go. And so the Art of Rest is designed to be an embodied experience for those of us who are, just tired of pushing through life and you want to learn how to listen to your body again, which is also important for your health, right? You feel that little twinge, but you keep ignoring it. And then you go to the doctor and it's become something much larger than it was had you been able to tune in and feel what's really and recognize what's happening in your body. And so I'm reframing work as a skill, a relationship, and a practice that will support regulation, clarity, and sustainable well-being. And so using my reflect, reframe, and reclaim framework, it'll address, your origin story, like why you have the beliefs that you have about rest, how to reframe those stories into something that will help you develop a more positive relationship with rest, and just reclaiming your personal sustainable rest practice. And that will be where we will walk through and craft your own unique individual rest program that works specifically for you and your life. You can't follow my blueprint. I can't follow your blueprint because we're not walking the same journey. We have different jobs. We have different responsibilities. And so I think it's important for me to help you craft a rest plan that works specifically for you. And so the promise there is just a calmer, more regulated nervous system, hopefully reduce stress and burnout, self-trust, and awareness around your body, learning to set clear boundaries around your energy and your time. People always say they want to rest without guilt. I'm a fan of feel guilty and do it anyway. Permission to rest. You'll get over it. They'll get over it. Whoever's waiting for the thing, they will be fine. It's okay.
Oh God! What was it? There was some keepsakes from the 12 Days of Christmas. One thing was the permission to disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They'll be all right. They'll be fine. Go to bed. Go to sleep. Tap out. Do whatever.
And ultimately a rest practice that you can return to again and again because it's custom made for you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that and sharing. So if that sounds like something that you would want to take advantage of, I want you to make sure you're on a wait list. The link will drop tomorrow. Again, $39 a month. That's not going to break nobody bank to invest in community where you'll be a part of these conversations and gain the tools that will assist you with reaching some of these transformational goals that you have in your life for 2026 and beyond. Who's next? What is it that you'll be teaching the first quarter inside the Inner Circle Collective? And what's the promise? What will they walk away with when you're done?
Well, this for the first quarter of the year, I'm going to be talking about reimagining your relationship with money. I believe money is the main culprit and fear that is keeping people from estate planning and managing and taking control of their financial lives. So we're going to be encouraging, empowering, and educating you in regards to debt, savings, and investing, and getting you to a point that you have the tools that you need to get out of debt, to save more, and then move into investing. And it's starting off small first, but getting to a point of investing, because the goal is building your legacy. The question I will be asking is, what is your legacy? And you have to choose. Is your legacy going to be when you die, and what you're going to leave your family behind is debt and brokenness, or is it going to be empowering them to be able to maintain not only a healthy life and legacy for your family and your children's children, and having an inheritance, or is it going to be debt and disappointment and devastation about losing you? And so this first quarter, we're going to be talking about reimagining your relationship with money. We're going to be dealing with debt, savings, and investing. And the goal is to get you, the promise is you will have the tools you need to get out of debt, manage and build your savings, and then be able to move into investing so you can get to a point of building your legacy, because I am going to be the legacy builder coach, and getting to a point that you can get over this fear that you can't estate plan because you don't have money.
That's awesome. 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 Christy, how about you? I'm not sure if she's having technical difficulties. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm okay. The mute button was not cooperating. However, I am going to be teaching several of my frameworks Starting off with the Light framework, which is my flagship operating system for AI, business, and life alignment. And just to tell you what Light stands for, L is leverage AI with wisdom. I'm going to integrate with your voice and vision. G is for grow with systems that serve you. H is honor your time and season. And T is teach AI what matters to you. And I also have developed a prayer prompting methodology, because the way you communicate with AI is important. And it's a direct correlation to what your output that you get. So with the prayer methodology, I have purpose, role, action, yield, examples, and restrictions. So pretty much the purpose, state your outcome clearly, define who the AI is acting as. That's the role. Your action, what action do you want it to perform? So you give all these information, all these pieces of information, and it'll help you get a better outcome when you're using AI. And then my last framework that I'll be touching base on is my peace alignment framework. And that will be directly working with your inner operating system for decision-making, clarity, and confidence. So pretty much your thinking. And that stands for pause. So stop reacting, create space to think, pray, and discern. Examine, assess what is actually happening versus what is assumed or feared. Align, bring decisions back into alignment with values, vision, and season. Choose, make a grounded, intentional decision instead of drifting or delaying. And execute, move forward with calm confidence and follow through. Because we know peace is not passive, it is a practiced alignment. And I also have a book that's coming out called AI Stewardship Mandate, and we'll be touching on pieces of that as well, because we'll be using as our ethical and spiritual positioning that AI has to be governed, stewarded, and used responsibly in service of people, purpose, and profit.
Excellent. That sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. And for those of you who may be afraid to jump on this AI wagon, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get your feet wet and jump on in to the Inner Circle Collective. Again, $39 a month. Once the link drops, but I want you to make sure that you are part of the wait list. Dropping the link again. If you're not already on the wait list, I want to make sure that you're able to do that. I'm going to also put on the screen. I know a lot of people scroll, but I want to make sure that I have this here as well. So let me tell you again who I am and what it is that I'm going to be doing inside of the Inner Circle Collective the first quarter. Again, my name is Deneen Merriweather. I am affectionately known as the Results Coach. You can put that in the chat if you want. You can write it down on your paper. But results equals Deneen Merriweather. So if there are things that you want or have been delaying in your life, I'm going to help you all year on taking the necessary steps that's needed in order for you to take the necessary actions and materialize the things that you've been talking about for maybe years. But the first thing that I'll be working on with you will be all of the people who have been desiring to shift careers. If you are ready to shift your career, start your own business, create a passion project, my goal and calling is to get you to answer the call of God. Whatever it is He has purpose in your life, I need you to answer. One, because it's not going to go away. So you need to accept it. Another thing is believe that you are the person, believe that you are the one. And you can put that in the chat as well. I am the one, because it takes confidence and courage to step and walk into what it is that you've been called to do. And then C, commit. So I'll be teaching my ABCs. It's kind of like one of the starting points that I teach in business is to help you with your mindset. When I actually started my company, the first thing I started, I had a membership. This is not my first membership. My first membership was Queenpreneurs Academy. And what I realized was that my people were not taking the action. And the reason why most people don't take action is because they lack those things, either courage, confidence, or competence in doing something, right? If they don't feel like they know something, they won't step into it. They won't step out there. But Gwendolyn made a great point earlier, like to build your courage, confidence, and competence, it's going to take practice. You got to be in the game. So instead of sitting on the bleachers, on the sidelines and looking at the game and talking about the game and thinking about the game and looking at how other people are playing the game and comparing yourself to the people that's on the court playing the game and wishing that you had green when you got red, or wishing that you had some other skill set than the skill set you had, or that you look different, or that you was smaller, or that you was bigger, or that you was whatever it is, right? Whatever your reasons are. One of my qualifiers when I'm doing my signature presentation, which is passionately profitable, right? One of the qualifiers for the people that's in the room is you have more reasons than results. You always got a reason why you ain't doing what you said you was going to do, right? Whether it's your kids, whether it's time, whether it's money, like the one that Sean hears in her business, I don't have money to do no estate planning. Are you crazy? Because I promise you, either you're going to pay now or you're going to pay more later, because that's all that's going to happen, right? Estate planning is an important thing, but you need to see what's preventing you from jumping. But before you even get to that, when God calls you, right? I have a free class too that I share inside the community. It's called The Call You Can't Ignore. Three mind shifts or shifts to help you accept what it is that God has called you to do. There's some work to do it. Only because if what I saw was that starting on more challenging actions for people to take, they won't take them because they're not mentally where they are and they don't have the mindset to actually go after it. So we'll work on your mindset first, because in order for you to get the results that you said you want in 2026, I got to get you to accept, believe, and commit to what it is God has called you to do. I need you to ABC, accept, believe, and commit to what it is God has called you to do. I'm going to tell you one more time. What I need you to do is accept it, believe it, commit yourself to it in order for you to receive, embrace, walk in, stomp on, grab, march, whatever it is that God has called for you to do in your life. We ain't waiting in 2026. Now, you may have done that in 2025, but in 2026, baby, inside this community, no. We going. We're going to accept, believe, and commit to what it is God has called you to do. So here's what I want to give. Did everybody give their thing? Yes, I think everybody has given what it is that they're starting out the first quarter. So those are the things that you will be learning, right? There'll be something in the area of career. There'll be something in the area of finances. There'll be something in the area of wellness and spirituality, right? That's just a given, because none of us operate in our business without God. So God is going to be present in all of the mindsets and the teachings that we're giving and delivering to you. Because wherever God is, that's where I want to be. And if he's not, I don't want to be there. So be comfortable. You're comfortable in this space to be able to receive and respect where it is that we are spiritually and the things that we share. Don't allow those things to shut you off of getting what it is that you came from, nor will we do the same thing for you. This is going to be, we have community rules and things and standards that we will have you to agree to as you're entering into the group. So let me go through some of this information as well, because I want you to know what it's actually going to take and what you will need to do. So first, once you receive the link, hopefully you all have subscribed to the wait list. When the link comes out tomorrow, the request would be, the first thing is, it is a membership portal, a membership portal that's housed on a platform called Kartra, Kartra, Kartra. Okay, so listen, when you subscribe, you will get an email and it's going to have your login information. What I need you to do is go into Kartra, change your password, look around, get familiar with it, bring your questions, because we can talk about it inside the private group. After you change your password, you have it, put your portal information, put your link and your password on your calendar. Put it somewhere that you can access no matter where you are, so you don't miss anything that you want to participate in. Okay? So the responsibility I'm giving you is, when you register, take your portal link, your password and put it someplace where you can easily find it, click it, go to it anytime. The second request will be is to join the Inner Circle Collective community. It's a private group on Facebook. It is only for people who are registered in the community. Do not invite your family and friends. They're not going to get approved to get in. Okay? Don't do it. They ain't investing in what you invested in, so don't let them in. Here's the thing as well. When you are inside of the community or you ask for permission to come into the community, use the same name and the same email address that you're registered under. Okay? Because if you don't, you ain't getting in. And that private group will specialize or house a lot of our content for paid members. The third thing that I would want you to do is also, like, if you haven't already, you can do it now, is follow the Inner Circle Collective Facebook page. It don't require you to answer any questions. All you do is click on it and it's there. So what I'm going to do right now, for those of you who may not have liked the page, I'm just going to take the page and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it inside the chat. So we want you to like the page. Like the page is free. It'll be free content out there. It'll be helpful, but it won't be at the level of what it's going to be inside of the private group and inside of the portal. So those are the three things. We will start teaching on January the 5th. So you will have between tomorrow and the 5th to get on board, to get inside and not miss anything. Now, granted, things inside of the private group will live, if it's live, I think for 30 days. Everything else, even if it goes away, we're teaching something, we'll have documents inside of both places. It's going to live in the portal. So don't come in the program and not condition yourself to go into the portal. That's why I'm going to have a way for you to link to the membership login inside of the group. It'll be there too. Post it, tag, pin somewhere so you can access it from the Facebook private group. But I want you to also take ownership and responsibility to have it someplace where you can ready it. So when we say, oh, I taught a class, you missed it. I taught it live on Saturday, but it's uploaded inside the portal. If you want to go get it, go get it. You want to make sure that you're able to go get it. And then when we pop in to the group and say, hey, for those of you who attended the course, you may have questions. I'm inside the group today. I wanted to do some more helpful hints or tips because a lot of people had questions about this, that, and the third. You want to make sure that you have that reference, that context to be able to appreciate the information that's being given. So those are like the major three things. Your portal, sign in, change your security password, put it on your calendar. The next thing is I want you to ask to join the private group. Use the name and the email that you register with. And finally, like the community page. Follow the community page because that's where we will be advertising, popping up, letting people know what's going to be happening inside of the private group on what classes we're doing, right? And that's, of course, just to create the excitement of those who may be thinking about participating with us, but may not. We're going to let them know what it is that we're teaching, on the 5th or, on the 6th or whatever next week, so they can go ahead and grab the information and register for the Inner Circle Collective. We definitely want you to share this with your family and friends because, again, people that grow together, they stay together. So get a partner. Do this journey with someone else so you're not growing alone. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I love you. We look forward to serving you. Again, the link will drop on tomorrow and looking forward to serving you. We will see you soon inside of the Inner Circle Collective. Have an amazing evening.